dude,
All
got
right,
a
we're
heartburn.
back. Matt, sorry to cut you off there. So we were talking a little bit during the commercial break, guys. So a lot of excitement on our Twitter feeds. Everyone is blowing up here, and I wanted to steer this one to the pick 13 to kick it off. So what do you think of the idea that score streaks are now built into your pick 13? We definitely want to see the return of score streaks. At least I do as a broadcaster. Matt, would you like to see it as a player as well?
Yeah, I definitely think score streaks should make a return as long as there's viable options for it. Because if you remember back in Black Ops 2, some of the Hellstorm and Lightning Strikes were really like the climax of a lot of maps because
Oh
they were
yeah.
game changing. It just adds that element of like, should I stay alive and play for my score streaks? Should I push out and help my team? It really just adds another realm of decision making that a player needs to have. And then when those decisions are made, the spectator gets rewarded and they get to see like the game changing Hellstorm missile on in Hardpoint. It just makes a huge difference for gameplay as a player and a spectator. So I definitely think if they have a viable options that make sense for competitive Call of Duty, they should make a return.
All right, and Fwiz, what were your thoughts on kind of the ability to upgrade your score streaks? It's going to
I think
cost
it's
more points.
brilliant. Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I mean, look, you have to go into each one of them and make sure that from a personal level, you feel it's all balanced. But like to take a UAV and then essentially upgrade it to,
Counter UAV.
yeah, counter UAV, you can upgrade it to where you can see him all the time on the map, or it sweeps more. Like to be able to put and then the point system, a credit to it as well. So I think it's good, because it makes as long as the value set, feels equal, like as in you going to try to pursue that and make it worthwhile to upgrade. But messing around with that when I got to play, I thought actually was really cool and a different way of thinking about it, and that it makes the all of the kill streaks way more dynamic now.
Now, Matt, if you had 13 points, would competitive strategy be to have a few players just running around like super soldiers now, as we see no tacticals, no lethal grenades being used in Ghost, or would you always suggest score streaks with your team?
Well, see, the problem with that is there's like a direct correlation with players who are going to get lots of kills or lots of objectives and then get those score streaks. Like
Mm-hmm.
Scump is going to rack up score streaks because he's just really good at staying alive and getting kills and playing the objective at the same time. So if a player like him loads up and tanks himself so that he can have the best ability to get kills and he's not running score streaks and there's not really a payoff there, I definitely think it's going to take like a couple of weeks to really play around with the game and everything
Yeah.
that's you're able to use to really get a good idea of what people should be running and what is like the standard for 4v4 teams. So I don't really want to give you like a really solid opinion on that just because
Right.
I don't know how it's going to play out. There's a lot of contradictions within that mindset. Like, okay, well, I'm going to give myself as much health as possible and the best ability to get kills, but there's no reward for getting those kills. So is it really helping? I don't know. You got to really play the game to make sure we have the best opinion on that.
Fwiz, you said during the live show that you'll be rocking no score streaks as a super soldier. You think you'll stick with that after the game
Yeah,
drops?
yeah, I'm gonna be some mega beast ass specialist super soldier, bro. Just running around, dropping 20 kills in Umu matches left and right. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
Totally customized. Speaking of the customization, they mentioned that supply drops are going to be coming into this game. It's now Call of Duty's version of loot. So if you guys have played any kind of RPG, loot always so important. We see how popular it is with just skins alone and Counter-Strike for the moment. How excited are you, or are you not excited about the introduction of supply drops and having weapon variations where each kind of different new gun you're going to pick is going to have pluses and minuses in the different categories like damage, accuracy, fire rate, range, handling, and mobility?
Dude, honestly, after playing Destiny and trying to get items that I want to customize and give my player so I look cool, or playing any other game that has that, I am way too excited for this loot and the supply drops.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about making my soldier look badass, but I just want to do it.
I
And
have
I
a
got
feeling. Oh,
go
sorry. Go
ahead.
ahead. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm gonna spend a lot of time like trying to get those loot drops,
Yeah.
like because
Oh,
I
for
feel like
sure.
they're gonna be in campaign. They're gonna be all over the place. You're gonna have to play like shit you wouldn't normally play just to go get like some badass camo or skin or something.
And here, let me put this in your head too. So, like back in the day, the last 7 years, the only way that you could really set your player apart is like probably the prestige icon.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
Call of Duty Ghosts did a really, really, really crappy job of making players want to have an incentive to prestige.
Yeah.
You know, what happened to the Gold Cross in Call of Duty 4
Yep.
or the Red Skull in Black Ops 2? Like, that's the stuff that a lot of players want to play for. And now that you get to do it to your own personal character at any time just for playing a lot, like, that's going to add so much incentive to play longer, to play for certain objectives, or play for certain challenges. And as a player who's always been really competitive orientated, that's the only thing I've always worried about. I am so excited to try and make my player look more badass than anybody else's, and I can't wait for supply drops.
It's gonna give
I
us
think
Caster
that's
something
cool.
to say.
Because Call of Duty Ghosts screwed that up.
Ooh. All right. Well, I'm not going to disagree with you, Matt. I'm not going to disagree. Fwiz.
Yeah, sucks. It sucks.
It was different, Matt. It was different.
It was different. Well, speaking of the different guns and how each of them will have new attributes, now we're going to see firing range. And I thought this was one of the coolest things, the virtual firing range before your game starts. You can get in there and test out your guns. This is something that, you know, as more of a casual Call of Duty player myself, I'm really excited about. ADD always strikes me while the new map is loading up. I'm going to be in that nonstop. But from a pro's perspective, is this really something that is going to be huge for you guys? Is it not a big deal? Talk me through what you saw there.
I thought that was directed at Fwiz.
Yes.
Can you repeat the question? I'm so sorry. I was on TweetDeck.
All good, my friend. All good. So the new firing range. How often do you think you'll be using it to test that gun?
My ADD is gonna be great with firing range. I'm sitting waiting for matches to load up and shit. I'm gonna be able to bust out my gun. Yeah, I think firing range was really dope, and the fact that it really is as seamless as they showed in the review. Like in the game, you hit a button and you are thrown into it right away, and you can
I could
play.
definitely speak on that, just like Fwiz, because I got to use the firing range at Sledgehammer. It is absolutely sick. Like with how many different customization options they have for the guns, I think they mentioned over 350. You get to pull that gun straight out as soon as you finish like customizing whatever attachments you want and use it in the firing range. There's no loading screens. There's no wait. It's literally instantaneous, and that is really cool to me. Like with how many compliments I've given to Sledgehammer, a lot of people think that I'm like getting paid to tweet or talk about the game. I'm not at all. I'm not even like affiliated with Sledgehammer in any way. I'm just really excited with a lot of the features that they've brought out. And firing range is one of those small, subtle changes to the game that's just going to make it more enjoyable and more accessible for the player.
I'm excited for this. Matt, I wanted to ask you, before there was something like firing range as a tool, how did you guys go about learning how the weapons spray, the recoil? Is that just going into games?
You cut out of that one. I heard like the first half and you cut out.
I'm going to talk to our audio guy after this and then... Anyway, you can hear me now. If I stay quiet, everything's okay.
Yeah,
so
stay quiet.
The new firing range. Before there was firing range, where you could go in there and test, the recoil, all the different attributes of the gun. How did you guys get a feel for the weapons that you should use in competitive play?
You just throw a gun on and hit some domination pubs, or shoot some bots, play some free for alls. Radar always on. There was really no option for it. And even with firing range, I still think that I want to use the gun against actual real players, but it's definitely just going to be something you sit in the lobby, you screw around with while you're waiting for a match to start. Now players like maybe we won't have to load up free for all, radar always on to get warmed up. Maybe we could just sit in the pregame lobby and screw around with guns and have some fun. So that's just, like I said, just that subtle change is going to make your time on Call of Duty that much more enjoyable.
I didn't even think about that. We're going to have to build some mini games into that firing. So let's go into the final discussion point. This is maps, guys. I wrote them down. We got Biolab, Ascend, Defender, Riot. Let's take a look at some of the new maps once again. Fwiz, you and I got a chance to play on a few of these. Which one are you most excited about? Let's start with Biolab. What were your thoughts on this one?
So Biolab is the one with snow outside, right?
Yeah.
Biolab's cool because it's got a lot of verticality. I mean, all of them do, right? But there was like places on that you could really, like, it's you found yourself in close quarter combat. But then when you go out into the snow portion of the area, you can essentially go up like 3 floors. So you can see a lot of like shooting down as people spawn in, and you're kind of susceptible to getting killed from above when you expose yourself outside in the snow. So Biolab was pretty cool. I'll wait to tell you my favorite, but Biolab wasn't my favorite. But I liked it. I mean, it seemed cool.
The next map we saw was Riot. Matt, this was the prison map. There was, of course, the big building in the middle. Outside, you had the courtyards. Any thoughts on prison initially?
I think I played on that map at Sledgehammer, or at the offices, and I played a hardpoint on it, I believe, and it played really well. They had the hardpoints in good locations. Like like I said, I've only got to play. I literally only got to play it once. So I don't really have like a strong opinion on it.
Right.
But it seemed like a fun map. It seemed like it was really movement orientated, which obviously a lot of the maps are going to be like that. But that map specifically, hardpoint, you had to be really good at jumping, getting location to location. Having height advantage was really important. But it seemed pretty fun to play.
Fwiz, the latest map that they announced was Defender, and that was the one with the big tidal wave. As you mentioned, you're thinking that tidal wave
a lot.
is it's not going to worry too many people unless you're in that one specific part of the map. But what did you see on the San Francisco map?
Honestly, that was like one of my favorite maps when we played it. We played like 5 different maps. That was the one I was like one of my favorites. I thought look, it's outside. It's a close. That one's a small map. You can't really see all of it. And that wave that comes in, that just hits the shore. So it causes a sense of urgency for you to get up off the beach here, Defender. Causes you a sense of urgency, get off the beach and move up a little bit, which is cool, you know. And it makes the map then even smaller after that happens. So I thought Defender was a cool map.
And the final one there. Crap, I saw it. Can we play that video one more time? It was Ascend. This was kind of the map that we saw turrets being placed on it. Matt, in your initial thoughts there, did you think the turrets were going to be too powerful? These are the auto turrets that you're allowed to enable as a player on the map. Did you see this portion of the video?
I saw the portion of the video, but I really don't think I'm the person that you want to ask about that.
Let me play devil's advocate though.
Yeah.
All right. In Halo, you had power weapon drops like a rocket launcher, a sniper rifle that would allow you that you would play then you would play around the map. So in order to make sure you had an advantageous position for that spawn. Don't you feel like that's kind of the same then here, where it's like you're gonna play around being able to get that locked down so you can control having the turret on this map or whatever the case may be?
I understand where you're coming from.
I don't know if I agree. Yeah, and I don't know if I agree with myself.
But
throwing it out there.
The rockets and snipers in Halo, those were timed out, and those were like tangible things that you could pick up and run around with. But Call of Duty already has that with the Pick 13. Like you can decide to use that. So there really hasn't been that sort of attribute to Call of Duty maps. And I'm just not a really big fan of like auto turrets or any kind of dynamic map elements.
Yeah.
Like I love Sledgehammer, I love Black Ops 2, Treyarch, Infinity, or whatever. But I really think developers need to stray away from buildings falling, opening and closing doors. I mean, that's kind of cool on Freight, but just like tsunamis and I don't enjoy that kind of stuff.
I feel like people, they look for like, where can we change things? And in fairness to them, they're like, here's a way we can do something different.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I didn't even like when Black Ops 2, I remember even arguing with Vonderhaar on some of it, like, you know, the rocket taking off, or even on Express or whatever it was, the train. The trains coming through and stuff.
Like, what's up, man? I'm trying to clutch this S&D
round.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to
get out of my way. I'm trying to get to the bomb.
Some random ass train coming by. Yeah, exactly. No, I think generally speaking, I'm with you on that.
I have a feeling though it's going to be like Titanfall turrets, where you activate them, they have your color, you feel really proud, but they're really not going to do anything for you. If you do get killed by a turret, it will hopefully be embarrassing. So those are my thoughts. Ascend though seemed to be the biggest of the maps that we saw there. I'm really excited to see what game modes are going to work best. Is it going to be a map like Hardpoint, considering how fast we can move now, or a game mode like Hardpoint, or is it going to be something like CTF? Fwiz, I know we shouldn't talk too much about what we saw personally, but I can see CTF working on that map pretty well, at least with that center lane.
Yeah, so you're talking about Ascend, right?
Ascend, yeah.
Yeah, Ascend has there's two long tracks. Like there's 2 long tracks, and since there's gameplays out, you know, you can watch them now with the embargo up. There's 2 long lanes that literally are ran for CTF, and then the back of the bases are pretty wide open. And then obviously, again, verticality is pretty synonymous with advanced warfare. So it makes her exciting because you kind of get wedged in, you bottleneck through this route that you've got to get through. And I think Ascend, I feel like was probably created around CTF, to be honest with you.
Is embargo gone? Are we allowed to say everything now?
Well, yeah, it's up now, so people's like multiplayer maps and their
Yeah,
their
where
videos
are
are
all
up.
these people getting gameplays like from
Yeah.
Advanced Warfare? What's
Yeah.
up? Like,
What's
let me get a
up?
gameplay.
Come on now.
Yeah,
Let the
let
man
me
get
get a
that.
gameplay, bro.
All right, guys, I think we've covered basically everything. You have any final thoughts before we shut this down?
No, I mean, thanks obviously to everyone that watched and tuned in to our stream, and
Oh, yeah.
hopefully we didn't talk too much or didn't talk enough or whatever the case may be. Nate, thanks for coming by, brother.
Really
Yes,
appreciate that.
I really appreciate you guys having me on.
So,
Yeah.
Matt, where can we watch you? I know you've been streaming quite a bit. Congrats on the 2K yesterday, by the way, my friend.
5K.
5K,
It was a
excuse me.
5K.
Come on,
Mr.
I can't
don't
Puckett.
count
discredit
so
those
good.
points.
So one of the things that was really big about the 5K, I think we needed to place top 4 in it to get a top 4 seed at Dallas if all of our math is right. So I think by winning, we secured a top 4 seed at UMG Dallas, and now we don't have to play on Friday. So that was like my biggest thing. I hate playing on Fridays, so it's like, woo, we don't have to play now.
So Matt, though, you're 5-5 in league, man. I know there's a lot of games left. What's up with that? You worried about it, or is the season still? It's still, it's just early on still.
Dude, I don't know, man. Like the first season we played, we got I think we got last. That was when we had Embos, and then last season we had second place. But this season it has been really, really weird. Like so for some of our matches, we haven't had our full team on. We'd had to reschedule a lot. Yeah, for me personally, I just wish that we were in sort of an off season at this point of the year. The league is kind of I think it goes to October, so it's kind of difficult to keep up with. But like I said, I mean, we're gonna try and bring it back and win some matches. I really don't know how we got to this point where we're 5-5. I think we were 5-2 and in second place, and then 3 matches in a row. It's like, well, that kind of sucks.
Dang, because I'm like, and you got EGs at 9th right now. So I'm like, is there a chance that Optic Gaming doesn't make it, bro?
Now, well, you guys had to run into Rise Nation in the 5K, and you guys were able to 3-0 them. Rise Nation is
we
currently
3-0'd
number
them.
1 on the list. So,
Yeah.
I guess I definitely see you guys near the top again. But are you surprised by any of the new teams in Season 3?
No, I'm not really surprised by any of the new teams because, like, at this point in the game, we're like 6 or 7 months into this game's cycle, and if you've been playing for that long and you're a pro player and you're not able to beat another pro team at any given time, then you shouldn't really be playing the game anymore. It's gotten to a point where everybody should be able to beat everybody on any given day, especially when it comes to online, with how many connection kills that go down and how many different situations play out a complete different way because somebody's pinging to a host better than another player. So it's like the league is a little difficult to navigate just because of all those difficulties that you run into. But I'm not really surprised by any teams. I think Rise Nation is doing a really good job. Like I said, they're in first place right now. They've really pulled it together later on in the year. But no big surprises at all, really.
All right. Well, Matt, once again, thank you for coming on. Where can we catch your live stream next?
MLG.tv/Nadeshot. I'm going to be streaming today, I believe. We have some league matches tonight, and that's where I'll be at for the next couple years.
I love it. Fwiz, I know you're streaming these days. Are you streaming later on this evening?
I will be MLG.tv/Fwiz. It's the number 1 stream, Call of Duty stream that we have.
Number 1, it's the best looking for darn sure. And
when
once-
Nadeshot doesn't have
that.
a beard, when Nadeshot doesn't have a beard, it is.
Exactly.
Nah, dude, come on. What's up, man?
All right, dudes.
All right,
That
thank
was
you
fun.
guys for tuning in. Advanced Warfare drops this November, and as you guys saw, if you do the pre-order now, you get the game 24 hours in advance with double XP for that day 0. Thank you guys for watching. Big shout out to Activision and our friends at Sledgehammer for letting us do today's stream. ESR continues as always 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, as we'll talk everything that went down in the 5K, as well as give you a little preview of what might happen at UMG Dallas.